Have you read something on transistors by yourself also? You can read from S.C. Verma and this NCERT book. Transistor characteristics also we have to study. And see here, this diagram. I have drawn one diagram of full wave rectifier. It is also full wave rectifier only. We call it as center tap full wave rectifier. What do you mean by center tap? At the center there is a connection made to the resistor. Center of what? Center of, it is like a transformer here. Means in the left hand side, sorry, in the left hand side there is a 18 here, and then this it is making induced EMF in the secondary coil, and that secondary coil EMF which is induced here, 50% will be, it is in the middle, 50% will be in the upper half of the circuit. At one time only one half of the circuit will be functioning, other half will just remain without any current, other half will remain open circuit in one half of the cycle. In positive half, in that for the these signs which I have negative, then
Sir, your voice breaking, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Wait a second, let me change my network. Okay now?
Yes.
This center tap full wave rectifier minus plus minus plus. Now which diode will conduct now? Now the lower diode will conduct and the upper one will be not conducting. But whichever conducts, here the current will flow in this direction only, from right side to the left hand side in the resistor. So therefore it is acting like a rectifier for the resistor. Next, biasing in the transistor. How many types of biasing is possible?
3 types.
Common emitter bias, common base bias, common collector bias. As the name suggests, emitter, see this arrow represents emitter. Emitter is common to input side and output side. What is input here? Base is input. What is output here? Collector side is output. Common base. Base is common here. Emitter is output. Collector is input. Not that. I think, sorry, this thing is not correct. Common collector. What is meaning of common collector? Common collector means this collector
Output will be through
common.
collector.
Notice one thing here.
0.
Thing which you can. When they are saying it is common emitter, then in emitter side they are not connecting any resistance. When they are saying common base, then in base side they are not connecting any resistance. When they are saying common collector, then in collector side they are not connecting any resistance. Then input we are taking, which one we are taking input as? In common collector, I think they will take input as the base, and I think they will take emitter as, I don't know which one they take.
Sir, collector is input, sir.
In which
Current
case?
is input through collector, no, sir. In common collector here.
How do you know that? No, left side, right side is not
Battery,
there
sir.
actually. No, it is not from the left or right side. That is not there. It is not based on that.
Sir, one second, how to tell what is input and what is output?
I think there is nothing like that also. They are not saying it like that. They are saying the direction of the electric current. They are not even talking about such things, which is input, which is output. But I consider this because of this reason. I think they also may say somewhere else. Here they did not mention, although. Why I consider something as input and other thing as output? Because I remember this formula, beta and alpha, and it helps me to see. Normally, I think if something we call it as current gain, then I think output upon input should be called as current gain. Therefore, I prefer to call collector as input. Sorry, this will be emitter as input and collector as output.
IC by IE.
And I will prefer to call here again IC as
IC by
output
IB.
and
IB.
IB. So, according to this side, I say this is output, this is input. So it is output upon input. It is also output upon input. That is how I decide. So alpha is for which? Alpha is for common base. Alpha is for this. And I think in this case, I think this becomes output here, according to my definition, which I am saying, and this becomes input because I am writing IC divided by, IE as alpha. Okay. So that is output, this is input. And in common emitter, base is input and collector is on this other side. Emitter side, collector side is becoming output. So IC upon IB we call as beta. And here IC upon IE we call as alpha, which is common base current gain. Third one is common collector. In this I'm now confused because normally we take current gains of two types, alpha and beta. What we should call here now? Really, this thing. Maybe I have to look in internet only now. Should we call it? What is it? It is common collector, right? Okay, let me give a quick search in internet and let us see what they say for common collector current gain. Common collector current gain. How do they represent it? Common collector current gain. Common collector current gain. They are saying it is beta plus 1. Understood. If it is beta plus 1, then we understand now which is output, which is input. It means we are taking output as emitter then only, because beta plus 1 will become only if IE upon, if we use the formula IE divided by IB, then only they represent current gain by this also, AI. Means I can call it as also AI. I can call that also as AI. All these are current gains. But this alpha is special symbol given for common, common base current gain. And beta is special given for common emitter current gain. For common collector current gain, there is nothing special given symbol, but it is beta plus 1 only, because IE can be written as IC plus IB. IC plus IB upon IB. That will become beta plus 1. So it is beta plus 1 for this current gain for this. So which is output? IE side output and emitter side output and base side input. Okay, right. So Chandan, you were asking that how to decide which is output, which is input. No, we have to learn it.
Yes, sir.
We have to just learn it that in common base current gain, collector is output and emitter is input. And in other one, common emitter current gain, again collector is output and base is input. And in common third one, common collector current gain, then emitter is output and base is input. This we have to remember. Okay. So next, working of a transistor. Means we cannot just decide from right hand side and left side. Left hand is input, right is output. That is not the way to decide. For example, here right side is input and left side is output. Right or not? We're saying base here, emitter here, and collector here. Yes. This is output, this is input. Yes, here it is like that only. So next, then they are giving this diagram working of a transistor. You can read about it. Mainly I have discussed all these things here already. Transistor used in amplifier circuit. This is interesting thing here, this diagram. Some of you may get confused by this. We never draw such diagram in the beginning. Whenever we discuss biasing, then we don't draw such diagrams. These are all DC, 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 DC. So why we do that? That we don't discuss such input there. And now we are discussing what does it mean. Actually, these are not having any input and outputs in reality, if I tell you. These are neither having input nor having output. But we have to connect input and we have to connect output the way they are connecting here. Output we don't connect, we connect input signal, and output we obtain across these 2 points, across these points, across the RL for load resistance. Across the load resistance, we obtain the voltage, and that is called as output voltage. And input will be across this. Input will be across this side, input side. So it is in series. It is in series of this. So now you may think, what is the use of these batteries then? What is the use of these batteries if I have to not treat these batteries as input? These batteries are making it function. What is the function of transistor? What does the transistor do? Transistor amplifies the signal. It is used as amplifier circuit. Amplifier means we will send a circuit of the order of, we will send voltage of the order of millivolts and it will turn it into volts. So it amplifies, it makes it large. But it cannot make it large on its own. It has to be some battery should be there which is supplying actually power. Means, you know, energy is never for free. We cannot create something out of nothing. We cannot create energy out of nothing. So there has to be something before. That part, that thing you understand, something right or not? There has to be some energy source. So these are the energy sources. These energy sources are already there. These will make the transistor function first. Now, what is the role played by the transistor? That role played by the transistor is to amplify. How will it amplify? It will amplify once we connect some signal to it. What kind of signal we have to connect? That signal is not, that signal may be something like this also. It may be something like this. It is not necessarily some sinusoidal wave. What advantage I will get to enlarge the sinusoidal wave and make it large? Maybe not much, but it may be some kind of signal, maybe music, maybe something, and that may be coming here and I may be getting some larger current in the other side. So it may get amplified finally. So this signal may be of fluctuating some current and small current, and that I want to make large. That is what this transistor does. I will come to its name also. Why we call it as transistor? Transresistor. Transresistor in short form, transistor. Transresistor in short form, it becomes transistor. What do you mean by transresistor? Okay, this thing I can come later on. First, let me explain these things here. So input current signal is coming here, and this input current will be, now what will be the net voltage here? Net voltage will not be EB, it will become here EB plus VI. VI is small value. It will be EB plus VI. Or I can think this way. I can think that here net voltage is EB only, but EB is fluctuating voltage. Means I will put this symbol. I will put this symbol and I will say it is EB, but it is fluctuating. Actually, it is not fluctuating. Actually, it is constant DC. But with it, some in series, some input is connected. So effectively, it will behave as if it is a DC with fluctuating DC. It will behave like a fluctuating DC. Means on an average value is EB, but that is also varying a little bit. So this fluctuating DC, what will be the fluctuation in that? Fluctuation can be regarded as DEB. So I can regard this VI as DEB, change in the EB value. So if I am able to solve this circuit just by taking no signal currents, but just by taking EB, input voltage, and this is base side, other side is collector side, EC, let us say. If I take EB and DC only, based on these, can I analyze, even if they are giving us input AC also with it in series? Yes, we can analyze. How can we analyze? In the same equation which I formed in terms of EB and DC, what I will do, I will write DEB and DEC, etc. Those equations, DEB and DEC, will start giving me the input voltages and output voltages, the fluctuating input voltage and the fluctuating output voltage, or the input AC and the output AC, those will start giving us. Okay, so we can analyze directly in this way also. So now, what happens when this voltage slightly increases? When this voltage slightly increases, we know IB is equal to what? IB is equal to EB minus VBE, which is 0.7 nearly. EB minus 0.7 divided by R. It is also approximately 0.7. That also changes slightly. It is also not exactly 0.7. But I think if you know the graph goes something like this. I have not discussed the graph of the transistor, although current versus voltage graph, I have not discussed it. Which current I want to say here? Base current. Which voltage I want to say? VBE. I have not discussed it yet, but I am directly plotting it because this is like a diode in forward bias. And for a forward bias diode, you know, such kind of shape will be there. If you want to see the exact graph, they have plotted it here somewhere. Wait a second. See here, VBE, IB. What I told you? I told you this or not?
Forward bias.
So it is like forward bias diode. And here also they are giving 0.6. 0.6 is the knee voltage. Here suddenly it changes. So it is something like this. After that, after 0.6, can the voltage change again? Can it become more than 0.7 also? Can it become like that? But this graph becomes so steep. After 0.7, this graph becomes so steep. Then it appears that the voltage does not change much. It changes maybe 0.7 to 0.701. By that time, the current becomes much larger. So it does not change significantly. So I can assume it to be nearly constant, which I can assume to be constant. I can assume the 0.7 to be nearly constant. If I assume it to be constant, then what will be the fluctuation in IB? Fluctuation, as I said, I will take differentiation. That will give us fluctuation. Fluctuation in IB will be because of DEB by R. R is constant. 0.7 does not has derivative 0. So I'm getting DIB is equal to DEB by R. And what is DIB? DIB, let us represent it by small ib. Small ib is for AC and IB for DC. So small ib is equal to, other one I will represent by V input divided by R. So see, directly we are getting this thing as, where is that diagram again? Go back here. Directly we are getting this change in IB, this diagram which they are representing small vi. Small vi they are representing here, right? So small vi is not the total value, it is just extra value, fluctuating value. So that will give us this value itself is responsible for the fluctuation in the base current. And we are interested in the fluctuation. We wanted to amplify the signal. We don't want to amplify DC. What is the use of advantage of amplifying? If it is 5 millivolt, what is the advantage if I make it 5 volt? Am I serving anything in this? No, because it has no information in it. If I give a constant voltage and I make it 1,000 times larger, then I'm not serving any purpose. I can take a battery or itself which is of 5 volt. Why should I just amplify this only? But we amplify the for example, music. Let us say I want to amplify the music. I want to make the voice of the song to be louder. That I can do by this thing. Here I will put that a signal coming from the that audio I will put here, and that is some song, maybe something. And here I will be getting that audio output that will be high voice. Now it will be louder. If I connect it to loudspeaker at last in this place, in the this side, then that will be giving me louder sound. So I am interested in increasing that current which is responsible for producing that voice. So I can increase that, and finally that current I will make pass through the loudspeaker, and that loudspeaker will be also giving me larger sound. That is how it will serve. It will be serving some purpose. Okay, it does not serve purpose if I just take 5 millivolt and I amplify it to 5 volt. That is not useful for us. So mainly I am interested in which? I am not interested in IC upon IB actually. I am not interested in that. I am actually interested in DIC by DIB, or I am interested in small IC by small IB. Small IC, HC Verma represents for fluctuating values, and capital IC he represents for DC values. I can also follow the same convention. I can also do that, or I can represent DIC upon DIB. That is also equal to beta. So actually the thing is, IC upon IB and DIC upon DIB, these are both nearly equal only. These are both equal to beta only. So luckily we don't have to remember. Actually, sometimes they give different values. Sometimes they do like this. They say separately beta DC and beta AC. But these are equal. When they don't give these to be different, then I will not worry. I will be writing IC upon IB also same. And here also I will be writing this also same as a DIC by DIB. Both will be same betas only. If they don't give us any value. It is like this. Mu static friction, mu of kinetic friction. In the beginning we say these are two different, but always mostly we use mu only. Similarly, mostly we use beta only. We don't write beta DC and beta AC. So when they will be giving us one value of beta, you don't worry. You imagine that they are giving us for both, whether it is DIC by DIB or it is IC by IB. Okay, right. Again, no need to write DIC by DIB. That also I can write simply IC by IB, small IC by small IB. Or sometimes we don't care, we write it as IC by IB, but we understand in our mind only that this IC and IB is just that extra over and above the average values. IC and IB are representing over and above the average values, especially when I'm representing by small IB, small IC. Again, these have not standard notations. SC Verma is following this, and that is also good enough. Okay. Next, we can think of something else here. What is happening? Wait a second, let me think now. So this is input here, and this is sending us current here, IB, and then we are getting output here. And I have remaining part I have discussed yesterday also, how to get IC. IC will be equal to EC minus VCE divided by
R.
That it will be. And RC, this is RC or RL. Here they are calling it as RL. We can call it as RC also. This we can call as R input sometimes, or we can call it as RB also. RI or RB, right? We can say these things. So we can find out IC. Once we know IC, we can find out the fluctuation in values of IC also. IC will be beta times. If it is active mode of operation, then IC will be beta times IB, and DIC will be beta times DIB. This will be equal. Okay. Next, they are giving us, I think, voltage gain. Voltage gain, as the name suggests, gain in voltage. We represent voltage gain by AV, as it will be nothing but the current gain. Let us call the current gain as AI. The current gain into the resistance gain, RG or whatever name for this. I don't know how they represent. I'm writing it as RG, resistance gain. That will become voltage gain. What is the power gain? Power gain will become
AI square into R.
Current gain square into R. Yes, that way we can write. Or voltage gain into current gain. That will be power gain. That will be power gain. So let us see the formula which he has given here. See, signal voltage VI and is added to the base circuit. The voltage across the load resistance changes by V0. If I add the signal voltage VI here, by adding this voltage VI here, we are noticing that the voltage across the load from the normal voltage, from the average voltage, it changes by V0. Then that we call as voltage gain. So V0 upon VI we call as voltage gain. Delta IB, he is representing by delta IB as VI upon RBE. Resistance in BE. BE means, I think he is calling this as BE probably. RBE. Okay, VI upon RBE. No, wait. I think he's not representing that. Wait. Suppose the input signal has voltage VI at an instant and it produces a change in the base current IB. The base emitter junction is forward biased and it offers a small dynamic resistance RBE. Then the change in the base current is this. The resistance RB is also called as input resistance. Fine. I think that only should be RBE, but from his name it seems as if he's talking about from B to E inside. But I think it should not be that. It should be only this resistance only, according to me. It should be this. He is calling it as RBE, but we can call it just R input or RB only. Okay. Anyway, delta IC. Delta IC, as the name we know already, beta times delta IB. If I assume beta to be same for AC as well as DC, then V0 is obtainable as RL into delta IC. That also we know. RL is at the output and the load is this output resistance is output voltage is obtained across it. This is output voltage. So the change in output voltage, which will be small VO, that will be nothing but RL into delta IC or small IC into RL. That will be. So we know this all, and this we know this also. Transfer conductance. Okay, here the name comes automatically. See, he's also using the word transfer conductance. Similarly, we can use the word transfer resistance. What is meaning of transfer conductance? What is meaning of resistance normally? Normally it is just V upon I. But when we take one thing of output side and other thing of input side, then also it is resistance, but it is not called as normal resistance. Now we call it as trans resistance. What do we call it? Trans resistance. Similarly, or transfer resistance. Transfer comes from transfer resistance, trans resistance. What will be trans conductance? Trans conductance, as the name suggests again, in current upon voltage, but current from the output side and voltage from the input side. Then it becomes conductance. So what is the trans conductance coming out to be? As here it is delta IC upon delta VBE. You understand? Delta IC upon delta VBE. That is the trans conductance. Because IC was in the output side and VBE was in the input side. Okay. And this delta VBE, I don't know why is he using delta VBE, but I think it should be same thing as small vi. According to me, it should be same thing as small vi. Is it same or not? Wait a second, let me check once. Or it may be different also, I think so. I think it may be different. I think it is just about the, this discussion here is just about, I think, for the transistors, pure transistor in which we are not even connecting any, I think, resistances probably. It is just pure transistor itself. So if I cross a pure transistor, if I consider, then it will be, I think, this voltage V to E. We know it is 0.7, but it also can change slightly. As I told that it can become 0.71, it can become 0.72. I think that they are talking about delta VBE here. Means slight change in VBE voltage. That will be delta VBE. And according to that, what changes will cause in IC, that will be delta IC. And then a ratio of those will be called as transfer conductance or trans conductance. Where the graph of that will be there, we can check from the graph. This is the graph, and from here we can get idea. See here in this graph, VBE, this is VBE. If I notice here, VBE changes slightly from maybe 0.65 to 0.7. And then IB changes somewhat here. And as IB changes, then according to change of IB, IC changes. And according to change of IC, we can write this thing then. How much is the change in IC when we change VBE? That we will call as transfer conductance or transconductance. Okay. These I versus V graphs are called as characteristics curve. What we call these as characteristic curve, because I think this tells us about the nature of the transistor. So we call these as characteristic curves. How many kinds of characteristic curves do we have? I think we have 3 kinds: input characteristics, output characteristics, and transfer characteristics. You understand how many kinds? Input, output, and transfer. What are the input characteristics? In which both of the things are of input side, means voltage also of input. For example, if I ask you which kind of characteristic curve it is, tell me.
Input.
Input characteristic of what? Input characteristic of which kind of amplifier? It is a common emitter only we are discussing, I think, so far. Which we are discussing here? They started discussing here common emitter only. Yes, common emitter it is. Let me see if they are writing here or not. Common emitter, they are writing somewhere or not. I think that only they are discussing. They are not writing it specifically here, but it is that. So for every transistor, there will be different input characteristic curves for every type of biasing, we can say. Okay. Here we are discussing which biasing. We are discussing the common emitter biasing. For that, this is input characteristics, correct? What is this? VCE, IC. This is output characteristics. Where is the transfer characteristics? They are not plotting it here. Sometimes in some places they may plot that also. One thing from the input and one thing from the output. That will be transfer characteristics. Okay. So here, this input characteristic curve is just like a diode, forward bias diode. And because it is like a forward bias diode, if you see such graph or if you see such graph, then don't worry, all these are similar only. So you should not look for exactly this kind of shape. Okay. So similar, all these will be similar only. So, but yes, this will be treated as better comparatively. If somebody is giving me this graph and this graph, then I will not go for this. I will go for this only. Because we know that it starts increasing gradually and then it becomes like this here, right? As for diodes, I can take this one for diode. But for amplifiers, for these transistors, I will prefer to take this one, second one. For diode, this is much common. They say for the ideal diode, you take it like this only. In fact, for ideal diode, we don't even take from 0.7. We take directly sometimes from beginning itself from 0 only. We suddenly make the current increase. VC is 0, VC. So strange thing is that input side, whatever is happening, that also depends on something from the output side. In output side, whatever is happening, that also depends on something from the input side. What is this? These are all base currents. Base current is in the input sides. So in the output side is not independent of the input. The output side is also dependent on the input side here. Here input side is dependent on the output side. Input side is dependent on output side voltage, and output side is dependent on input side current. As the current changes for the base, correspondingly IC will change, and we know that already. We know that IC, if it is 50 microampere, and let us say beta is equal to 1000, then it will become 50 milliampere here. And if beta is 100, then it will become 5 milliampere here. You understand? It will become in same proportion. They are not giving beta as 100, but if I say they are giving beta value something else, we can find it out also. But let us say beta is 100. For me, calculation will become easy, so I'm taking that. Then it will become 5 milliampere. Then here, where it is 200 microampere, then it will become 20 milliampere. Where it is 300 microampere, there it will become 30 milliampere collector current. So the base current, the collector current is becoming 100 times the base current. Okay. So is it always 100 times only, or is it also slightly changing? This beta value, does it change? Yes. See, with BCE, with the value of BCE, we notice that this graph is slightly oblique, slightly tilted graph, because it changes with the value of BCE. It changes slightly. As BCE becomes more, then it is somewhat different. As BCE is less, then it is somewhat different. So it is not completely independent of BCE. It also depends on VCE, but approximately it is still constant graph. And it is still, I can say it is nearly parallel to the V axis. Therefore, IC we can write just as beta times IB only. This will be valid only in which mode of operation? This is valid only in active mode of operation. So you can understand this green shaded region where this is valid, that is active mode of operation only. In this it is valid. What about this first region here? This, I told you already that when voltage of VC is very small, I told you when VC tends to 0, then this becomes what? Saturation mode. I think you know already that. Then this part must be treated as saturation mode of operation. This part here, this is saturation mode. When the value of IC is varying, see what does it mean? It means this relation here, in this case, IC is not equal to beta times IB. Why? Because for same value of IB, one graph is for same value of IB. This graph is for 300 microampere. So for the same value of IB, I'm getting different values of IC. Finally, it becomes constant. But in the beginning, it was 5 also, it was 10 also, it was going through all those possible values. So I can have different values of IC for the same value of IB when the body is, this transistor is in saturation mode. So this is representing saturation. Which part? This starting part. Which part? The part in which VC is less than 0.2, something like that, or maybe 0.3. This part is representing saturation. But the part when VC becomes more than this, then it is active mode of operation. Where is the cutoff then? Cutoff mode is here when IB is 0. When there is no base current, when base current I have made open only, there is no base current, then IB 0, then this is like cutoff mode of operation. This is cutoff mode. Okay. With IB 0 means IC will also become 0. We will call it as cutoff mode. Where is the saturation active mode then? This entire region is for active mode. This entire region is for active mode. Is it clear now? Any doubt in this? I know one doubt may appear. That also appears because of some wrong relation. Some students do like this. They think that in photoelectric current we have done this thing. That when saturation current will achieve, then this current will become parallel to our, what is the axis below? Voltage axis, right?
Voltage.
So some students may have this doubt in mind that this should be saturation because it is becoming constant. Anybody who thought like that? No one. Very good. You are not thinking in that direction. It is correct only because that is different thing completely. That is different. Here it is not like this current is becoming, IC is becoming constant. It is not like that. Depending upon IB, it will still change. If I change IB from 150 to 200, if I change from IB from 150 to 200, then here also it will change in the same proportion. So it is changing. We cannot say it is constant. But for a given constant value of IB, it is fixed. For a given value of IB, it is not changing. So that will not change. We also know by the equation also. What is the value of IC? IC should be equal to, I have two equations. I will do what IC possible. Equations possible for IC. One is, wait a second, I'm charging my pen. You just, by the time you think which those two equations are. Beta times IB, one equation, which is valid only during active mode of operation. And there is another equation which I wrote, which is valid for saturation.
VCE by R.
VCE by R, not right. Not right. VCC in this, I don't know what he is representing, but I told yesterday VCC. He's also representing VCC. For him also same thing. VCC minus VCE divided by R is equal to IC. And here VCC nearly becomes 0. I told you in saturation mode it becomes nearly 0. So IC in saturation mode becomes nearly equal to VCC by wait, in saturation mode does it become 0? VCC,
It's a 0.
yes, it becomes 0. So it becomes then VCC by R. Then it becomes VCC by R. What does it mean now? That IC can vary depending upon R or depending upon VCC, or means it can vary. IC can vary in this case. If R is varying, it will not be constant quantity. But on the other hand, if I write IC is equal to beta times IB,
Minimum of these two.
minimum of these two will be the exact value. But if I write IC as beta times IB, then it is constant always. It will not change. So it does not mean it is in saturation. For I see what I'm telling you here. I'm again warning you. For a given value of IB, IC is fixed if I use this equation. But it does not mean that IC is in saturation, because this formula is itself valid for active mode of operation. So when this formula is valid, that means it is in active mode of operation. And in this active mode of operation, for a given value of IB, IC will become fixed. IC will not change. But it does not mean it is in saturation. So don't try to make a wrong relation with the photoelectric effect and start thinking that it is this should be saturation. No, this is not saturation. This is active mode here. Active mode. And this one is saturation mode. And below this here, it is cutoff mode. Okay. Right. Next, we have logic gates coming. Now, before logic gate, one thing was still pending as transistor used in oscillator circuit. I am postponing transistor in oscillator circuit for tomorrow. Before that, I would really like to take logic gates. Because logic gates is completely different topic and I have not even initiated. So I'm thinking let us finish this one also. Then we will be left with just one thing, and that is our transistor as an oscillator circuit. Although I can ask some questions on transistors also. Let me ask. In fact, I think I should frame some questions on transistors myself. What day is today? Today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, I will do one thing. Today I will start. Today I will start logic gate. Tomorrow I will take. What is not there?
Saturday not there.
Saturday is also not there. We have only one day left, it seems. Then today only I should finish logic gates at least. Today I will finish logic gates. After that, I will take some extra questions on transistors. But otherwise also assignment is given to you. I think, are you doing questions from those or not?
You only take, sir. You only take, sir.
You want me to take? Okay, then I will take. No problem, I will take. But SC Verma solved examples at least you do from here also, right? Other than that, I will take no problem. But whatever is given in SCV, that questions you finish at least. He has given very few questions and those are simple and good only. You can do those. Let me take the question of, first of all, I should take logic gates now. What is logic gate? I told you already how the transistor acts as a NOT gate. And what is the symbol for NOT gate? NOT gate has this symbol. If I give input A, then it gives us output A bar. If I give in A bar means opposite of A, means if I give input 0, then it gives us 1. And let me state something more. I don't know if some of you have already background, then you will be understanding easily, but otherwise you need little depth analysis. Logic gate. First of all, our discussion in logic gates when we are doing now, we will have only two things. Always binary logic. We will have only binary logic. Binary means either high or low. Either up or down. Either 1 or 0. Either 5 volt or 0 volt. Either 5 volt or minus 5 volt. But no other voltage is possible. Either 5 volt or minus 5 volt. 5 or 0. 1 or 0. 1 as you are just numbers. Real voltage may be something else. But the high voltage I can represent as 1. and the low I can represent as 0, or sometimes very different, true or false. True or false. So binary logic means which cannot have variation. It is just having just one exact fixed number. Either it is true or it is false. It cannot be anything in between. Either it is high or it is low. It cannot be anything in between. Just two things only. Okay. 1 or 0, we will represent mostly this thing as 1 or 0. Because if I represent by 1 and 0, then we can do algebra with this. What is meaning of algebra? Means we can write some rules of addition, multiplication, and such relations can be obtained for this. So if I have 0 into 1, what is 0 into 1? 0 into 1 is 0. That way only we will write for this also. What is 0 into 0? That is also 0. Then what is 0 into A? 0. Because
0.
I told you, A cannot have any other thing. A can have either 0 or A can have only 1. A is some variable. In our, normally when we take in mathematics variables, then these variables can have all the possible numbers, all the possible integers, 0 to infinity. So many integers are there, and so many real numbers are there. And in that maths, in fact, complex numbers are also possible. But it is our maths in which we are having only two numbers possible, either 0 or 1. And if I have found some multiplication rule for 0 and 1, and for both we are getting same answer 0, it means I can in general say that 0 into A should be 0. Similarly, let us add 0 plus 1, 1, 0 plus 1, 1, and 0 plus 0, 0.
0.
No such rule I am able to form. What is 1 plus 1? 1 only.
1.
1 plus 1 is 1. I think you can think in this way also. I'm not allowed to go beyond. No, here I have to be careful. Here 1 means two things actually. 1 can mean addition and 1 can mean or. Plus can mean or plus can mean addition. Here I'm calling it as OR gate. It is OR gate operation, and this one we call as AND gate. It is AND gate operation. AND gate is like multiplication. It is like multiplication. We represent it by dot, and OR we represent by plus. And symbol for AND gate is like this. And symbol for OR gate is this way. We represent OR gate. In this we give two inputs, A and B, and what output we get? Output we get as A plus B. And in this in AND gate we get, in AND gate we have on the other hand two inputs, A and B, and output we get as A into B. Output we get as A into B. If any one of these input I make 0, then the output will definitely be 0. Similarly, in our AND OR gate, if any one of these input I make as 1, then output will have to be 1 only. That is the rule of OR gate. So it is, I am calling it as 1 plus, but I think I should be better calling it as 1 or 1. Rather than calling it as 1, we should call it as 1 or 1. 0 or 0, 0 or 1. 0 or 1 is 1. 0 or 0 is 0. 0 or 1 or 1 is 1. 1 or 0 is also 1. 1 or 0 is also 1. Same thing as 0 or 1 is 1. Similarly, 1 or 0 is 1. Let me give you a rule. In fact, I think I should go in this way. Let me give you general rules. I have which kinds of gates possible? OR gate is possible, AND gate is possible, and some others are also possible like NOR gate, and NAND gate is possible, NAND, NAND. And which others are possible? Some others are possible like XOR gate and XNOR gate. These are possible. So many are possible. I will draw the truth table for this. What is meaning of truth table? That I will give the input values. That if we give the such and such inputs, then what output do we get? Truth table. I will give inputs, and two inputs I will give. What's happening here really? A and B. These two inputs. A and B. So if A is 0, B is 0, A is 0, B is 1, A is 1, B is 0, A is 1, B is 1. Rule for this, let us follow the rule now. For OR gate, we use this expression. Expression will give us the rule. What we use? A plus B. For this, we use the expression A into B. For this, we use expression A plus B bar. For this, we use expression A into B bar. And for this, we use expression for XOR, we use expression. I'm forgetting now, unfortunately. AB bar plus BA bar, I think.
Plus
But I'm not.
BA bar.
Is it correct only? I am not sure about this. I'm forgetting it.
Yes, sir.
AB bar
Correct.
plus A bar B.
Correct only.
Correct only. AB bar plus BA bar or AB. I can change the order. AB bar is same thing as BA bar. It is commutative. No problem in that. We can do that. So this, and at last we are having XNOR, which will be again, it's
AB plus AB bar.
AB plus
A bar, no sir, same will come.
AB whole bar.
AB whole bar.
Bar plus BA bar whole
AB
bar.
plus AB whole bar.
AB plus AB whole bar.
A bar into B bar. Correct only.
A bar into B bar plus A into B, right?
AB.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, okay, the rules to write, there are certain rules which we should follow. So, as I told you, first of all, simple addition: 0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 1, 1. 0 into 0, 0. 0 into 1, 0. 1 into 1, 1. This basics we should be knowing. 0 when we, or in general, 0 into A, 0. 1 plus A, 1. 1 added to anything will give us 1. 0 multiplied with anything will give us 0. So 1 added to anything means it could be 1 also. 1 plus 1 is also 1. This is something which we should know here. But here 1 is not, it is not addition actually, it is OR gate. It is 1 or 1. It is 1 or 1. What does it mean 1 or 1? It means like this. Let us say I have a switch here. This is a battery and there is a bulb. And I am switch 1 and then another switch 2. Switch 2. Now I am asking you, when will the bulb glow up? Which switch I should close? What will be your answer? S1 or S2? Which should I close? Which switch should I close so that the light will glow up? Any one of these? Any one of these. Let us say it is on and off. I told you any logic. Anything which can be represented as up, down, on, off, true, false. All these things can be considered as logic operations. And we can say binary logic operations. So S1, I have to assign some symbol for it. I will have to assign symbols 1 and 0. Actually, these are not even 0 and 1. These are just, means this 0 is not like the real 0 we can say. But because it behaves like 1, it behaves like real 0. Therefore, we start calling it as 0. But otherwise, I could have simply written it as, I could have written on as 0 and off, on as 1 maybe and off as 0. I could have done that. Or I could have written opposite, off as 1 and on as 0. We can decide that way also. So these are just means symbols given, symbols assigned, but these have like no real meaning. No, 0 is not a real 0. If the 1 would be real 1, then 1 plus 1 would not be 1, it will be 2. But it is not real 1. Okay. So now on and off when we are doing here, what do we get here? On, let us keep on as 1 and let us keep off as 0. So if I make it 1, if I close the switch, then what happens? We get the output here, right? What output do we get? We get the output to be high. Are we getting output high or not? We are getting output high. Because this voltage, whatever this voltage is 5 volt, the same output we will obtain across it also. So we will be obtaining high output, 5 volt output. If I open both the switches, then what output do we get across this? Then it is 0 if both are opened. Means I can make a truth table for it. I can say switch 1, switch 2. When switch 1 is on and the other is off, then what output do we get? High,
5
high,
volt.
high. When both are 0, 0, then only we get output as 0.
0.
When does that happen? When both are 0, output 0. That happens for which case? That happens when it is a OR gate. So these two together are acting like a OR gate. In OR gate also what happens? In OR gate also S1 plus S2 will be the expression Y. And here also we are getting this only. 1 plus 0, 1. 0 plus 0, 1. 1 plus 1, 1. 0 plus 0. Means all of these are, we are getting this expression by as if we are adding these. Not adding, we are making OR gate. So this is acting like a OR gate. This is like a OR gate only. Here Y output will be equal to, output obtained here will be equal to S1 plus S2. We can think in that. Okay. How can it act like an AND gate? It can act like an AND gate if I take two switches, but this time I connect them in series. S1 and S2. Now you tell me, when will I get the high output? Let us make the truth table once again. Let us try to make it once again. I think you can see clearly that when both are closed, then only we get output as high. But if any one of them is 0, then output is 0. If any one of them is open, then output is 0. And that happens for which case? That happens for AND gate. That happens for AND gate. So then it is acting like AND gate. When S1 and S2 are in series, then it is acting like AND gate. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. So having understood these things, let us, and also the way to represent this one, we will represent by such way. This one is like a D only, like D. This one is a NOR. NOR means I will have to add with it some little dot. This dot comes from the NOT gate dot. In NOT gate there is a dot. If it is A, it is A bar. It is opposite of that. 0 will give us 1. 1 will give us 0. That is a truth table. In this only one input is there. In this only there is one input and output is opposite of that input. But in other gates, in AND gate, how many inputs can be there in AND gate? There can be 3 inputs also. A, B, C. If there are 3 inputs in single AND gate, then we will be getting A into, we will be calling it as A into B into C. Y is equal to ABC. Any one of these is 0, then output will become 0. If any one of the input is 0, then output has to be 0 only. Similarly, OR gate will have OR
Not
gate
gate
can
only,
have,
sir.
Huh?
Not gate that you wrote on.
This is NOT gate.
It's not.
This is NOT gate. NOT gate I am not representing in the lower table. Reason is it has one input only. But here I am giving here 2 inputs. So I am taking those cases where we are having 2 inputs at a time. 0, 0 will give us OR gate means 0 and others are 1, 1, 1. AND gate means this is all 0, 0, 0. This is only 1. NOR gate means opposite of OR. Opposite of OR 1, 0, 0.
0, 0, 0.
And AND gate is opposite of
1,
AND
1, 0.
1, 1, 1, 0. XOR gate. This I have to check one by one. A into B bar. What is A into B bar? In the first case, A into B bar is 0 into
0 into 1.
That is 0. B into A bar will also be 0. So 0 plus 0, 0. What is second case? 0 into 1. 0 into 1 bar will give us 0 first term. 0 first term but non-zero second term. This term is non-zero. Why? B is 1 and A is 0. 0 bar is also 1. So 1 into 1 will become 1. So this is becoming 1. This is becoming 1. This is again becoming 0. XNOR is opposite of this. 1, 0, 0, 1. So how can we tell what is the, okay, in general, if in one line, if I have to say what is OR gate? OR gate is that gate in which if any one input is 1, if any one input is high, then output is high. In general, if I have to say what is the definition of OR gate? If any one input is high, then output is high. That is OR gate. What is AND gate? If any one input, if any one input is low, output is low. That is AND gate. What is how to define NOR gate? Opposite of this. Can you define NOR gate? Define NOR gate now. If any one input is high, if any one input is high, then output is low. Means I can say like this. Any one input is high, make it 1. Whatever other may be unknown, output will be 1. AND gate I can make like this. If one input is 0, whatever the other may be x, unknown, output will be known, that will be 0. NOR gate I can make like this. If any one input is 1, then output will be 0. Whatever the other is, x is unknown, we don't need x. That is NOR gate. What is the, similarly you can define NAND gate also, but I'm coming to XOR. How to tell XOR gate? What is XOR gate? For similar inputs, if inputs are similar, then output is 0. This thing I'm not, I don't know, I just believed you only. Are you sure? Because I remember this I know that if it is the gate, then this has this only. But I don't remember suddenly that XOR means this or XOR means this. This thing I'm having confusion. Are you sure about it? You can check in SC1 otherwise. For similar inputs,
Correct only, sir.
then right, then we can remember for similar inputs, the output will be for similar inputs. What is the output? Let us check again. 0, 0, 0. For similar inputs, output is low. And XNOR will be opposite. For similar inputs, output will be high. For similar inputs, output is high. That is how we can just represent all these gates. Then comes how to what waveform we will get if I have this kind of waveform here. Time is given to us something. Maybe 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the input waveform of A, input waveform of B. What is Y? If Y is equal to A dot B, what is Y? If Y is equal to A plus B. What is Y? If Y is equal to the other one, A, B bar plus
Up to 0, sir. In
A
A
bar.
dot
A bar.
B.
Can we form a waveform? They may give us waveform. They may give us that this is the gate, and in this gate we are giving one input waveform as this and the other input waveform as this. What will be the output waveform obtained? We can obtain the output waveform easily because it is just like low means 0. This lower one we will take as 0, and this is 0, this is 1. 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. 1, 1 means there are two intervals in this, so each interval I am representing separately as 1. And here 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. And last 0 here, 0 here. Now just keep on thinking what happens now. A dot B. A dot B means any one of these is 0. The total is 0. 0 to 2, 0. Only 2 to 3 it will be 1, and after that I think nowhere else.
0, sir.
Then I think it will be just 0 to 2 also 0, and then 2 to 3 it will be 1, and then it will be continuously 0. For which case? For
Will not
AND
be.
gate.
AND gate.
For AND gate. Not for OR gate, for AND gate. What about for OR gate? For OR gate, this is
0
2
to
to
1,
3.
0, and then up to 4, 1. And
0
then
plus 0, 0 to 1. First of all, 0 to 1, 0.
Yes.
And then 1 to 2, it is 1. 1 to 4, it is 1.
1 to 4, it's
4
1.
to 5,
4 to
0.
5, it is
4
0.
to 5,
And then
0.
5
5 to 7, 1.
to 7 again. 1.
7, 1.
Next to 0.
7 to 8,
So
0.
it becomes like this. This way. This way, this way, this way. Something like this. 0, 1. And then up to what? Up to 4, 5, 7. That is for OR gate. Similarly, you can find out what happens for XOR also. Can you find for XOR also? This one is for OR. And this one is for AND. For XOR, you can find out yourself. That I am giving you task to do. You can do it yourself. This is how we do in logic gates. One thing which still we have not done, how to make logic gates, not gate, or how to make NAND gate or AND gate using diodes or using resistors. This we can discuss. Let me see if you can tell me which kind of diode we have formed here, which kind of gate we have formed here. Tell me which kind of gate it is. This is A, this is B.
Or.
If I give both low, then output is no current will be in the resistance in that case. If both are low. If both are low, then output will be low. 0 current will be there, so 0 voltage drop, so output will become 0. If V input at A is 0 and VA equal to VB is equal to 0 volt. Or I am simply saying it is given 0, 0. Then output will also be 0 in that case. And that happens in which case? That happens in both AND gate as well as in OR gate. In OR gate also 0 plus 0, 0. And in AND gate also 0 plus 0, 0. We cannot tell by one thing, we cannot tell. We have to tell by which method we have to tell. You follow this method, which will always work. This you give 0, other you give anything, and then see what happens. This you give 1, other you give anything, then see what happens. If one of these is given 1 and output is permanently becoming 1, then definitely it has to be OR gate. Let us do that way. Let us give it 1 now. And don't worry about the other output. This is given as 1. If it is given as 1, then this side we know it is connected to ground. It is less voltage, and here it is high voltage. So high to P to N, it will start conducting because it is high and it is low, so it will start conducting. As it conducts, then what voltage will be dropped across it? 0 volt, ideal diode. Ideal diode, 0 volt will be dropped. Then what we will obtain here? Same, whatever we gave input, that will be obtained as output also. So this side we obtain the same output. Do we obtain the same output or not? So by giving 1 as high, we are obtaining output as high.
OR gate.
So therefore, this has to be OR gate. Exactly right. This has to be OR gate. If I change it and I make it in this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Now what happens? Is it any gate or it is nothing? Let us see once.
Nothing, sir.
Nothing, sir. Nothing.
Yes, you got it right. Very good, very fast also. It means you are understanding the things properly. See, it is 0. Now, let us say I give it 1 here. If I give 1, it does not conduct. If I give 0, then also it does not conduct. It does not conduct by giving 1 as well as 0. Why? Because this side is 0. And
Reverse
this side,
bias.
it will conduct only. It can become a gate. It can become, although I can make it a gate. It depends what voltage I am giving. I can make it a gate if I give voltages. Low voltage I give -5, that is low, and high I give as 0. I can give this kind of logic is also possible, which will be having this kind of waveform. 0 here, and -5
Slide it down.
volt here. But in that case, 0 volt will be represented as 1 and minus 5 volt will be represented as 0. We can do that. We can do that also. So if I give this kind of logic, then what kind of gate it will be forming now? Let us say the voltage given is minus 5 volt here.
Or
How many voltages we are giving? Only minus 5 or 0. 2 voltages only we can give. If I give minus 5, then it starts conducting. If it starts conducting, then it is like a short circuit. Then here also we will obtain minus 5 volt. Means if I am giving low here, I am obtaining low here. Which one I am giving low? Any one of these I give low, then I obtain output as low. And where that happens, any one of these is given low, any one of these is given low, output obtained is low, then it is nothing but
And get.
And
so what?
Sir, open
It
circuit will
became
not
AND.
be there, sir.
What?
Sir, it depends upon the. It depends upon the breakdown voltage of the diode, no, sir.
It depends on the what breakdown really. What is voice
Ideal.
come out? These are both in forward bias. Breakdown voltage is not there in these both of these diodes. They are not having any. They are not having any breakdown voltage, or their breakdown voltage is very large. At least not 5 volt. While we are making it, while if we want it to function as a diode, then we never use it in this breakdown above breakdown voltages. It will not be. Sorry, what I said. I should say when I want it to function as a logic gate, then I should not supply voltages more than the breakdown voltages. Okay.
Okay.
And I already clearly specifying it that I am giving in fact only 2 voltages, either minus 5 or 0. That only I am giving, nothing else. And in the upper case, in this case, I was giving maybe 5 volt or 0. In this, I was giving 5 volt or 0. So what changes I made from here to here? I mean to say why I made this gate to this gate by nearly same diagram only, because I wanted to tell you that it is very easy to make the gates. Just 2 changes I made and one gate converted into another gate. What changes I made? No change at all, except the gate input I started giving as 5 volt or 0 I was giving in the beginning here. That I changed to minus 5 and 0. That I changed to minus 5 and 0. And this I reversed. Then this gate changed. It became from OR gate to AND gate. I can do another thing. Somebody may think, no sir, we don't want minus 5. We want 5 volt and 0 only. 5 is low and 0 is high. Sorry. 5 is high and 0 is low. If I want to do that, then I have to make some other change. But 2 changes I still need to make. One change I already made in diode. Another change I will make here. I will make it 5 volt fixed. I will make it 5 volt fixed. Normally, sometimes we represent like this also. If I make it 5 volt, I don't represent it downside. I represent it this side. It is 5 volt fixed, not grounded now. Then what will be the output obtained? Now, what input I can give it? I can give it any 2 of the inputs, either 0 or 5. If I give 0, if I give it 0, then this
Yes, sir.
starts conducting. And if it starts conducting, then the potential drop completely obtains across it. Then the output obtained is 0. Any one of these is 0, then also output obtained is 0. But if both of these are 5, 5, then the output obtained will also be 5. Then when that happens? That happens when it is AND gate. So it is AND gate only. Is it clear? Any doubt in this?
Between A and B voltage, sir, output means.
Not between A and B. What are you talking about A and B? Only to A, only to B separately. These two are separate. Only to A I am giving 5, only to B I am giving 5. Not between A and B I am giving 5.
No, sir, output, sir.
Output of this is, oh, that, what is this VO you think it represents? What is this then? This is the output. These both are inputs. 2 separate inputs. And this is fixed value. I cannot change it, it is fixed. It is like this some battery connected already that side, which is fixed battery, fixed voltage battery.
Yes.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
That's right. So any one of these, when I make 0, the output becomes 0. And that is nothing but AND gate. Okay now? Same thing I can do with 3 diodes, 4 diodes, 5 diodes, and as a result, it will keep on becoming AND gate into, it will keep on changing into AND gate of multiple inputs. How to make a NOT gate? I already told you yesterday how to make a NOT gate. This is NOT gate. This is input here, and this is output here. What is this gate? This is itself transistor acting as NOT gate. We call the same diagram to be as transistor acting as a switch. We call it switch also, and we call it NOT gate also. Same thing. How is it NOT gate? Let us give input high. If I give input high, if I give the base voltage high, then base current will become high. If the base current becomes high, the collector current becomes high. Collector current becomes high, then what happens?
a minute. हेलो, अभी मैं क्लास ले रहा हूँ, फिर बाद में कॉल करूँ?
So where we were? VB, IB, IC. IC increases, then IC into RC increases. IC into RC increases, then voltage drop increases. Voltage drop increases, then it may happen that this total voltage drop of VCC here, it will be dropped completely and it will become 0. Then V output may become 0. May become 0. I am saying that always it will not become 0. But it will definitely become 0 if it is acting in saturation mode of operation. Saturation mode means where already I see where already if I take beta times IB into RC, then that becomes greater than VCC. If that happens, then it is in saturation mode already. If this potential drop tends to be more than VCC, we cannot have potential drop more than VCC. The maximum potential drop that it can have is equal to VCC. But if by using this formula, we are tending to have more than VCC potential drop, it means it is already in saturation mode. So we are discussing about that only. It is in saturation mode. Therefore, here output voltage will become 0. It will become 0. Then it is acting as a NOT gate. Input high, output low. Opposite will happen if I give input low. Low means 0 voltage I am giving at input. If I give input as 0, then IB will become 0. IB 0. IB 0, then VBE will be open circuit only, and IC will also become 0. If IC becomes 0, then IC into RC will become 0. If IC into RC becomes 0, then V output will become equal to VCC, and VCC is the high voltage here. So this high will be obtained here across V0. So it is acting like NOT gate, in which whatever input we give, it is opposite of that, it is giving us the output. Is it okay? Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. So we know how the NOT gate functions. We know all these things now. And sometimes we can make some other diagrams also here. I think I can make. What will happen if I do like this? A and B, multiple inputs I am giving now. Diodes also I am connecting now. What will happen now then? Then if I give B high, then this will start connecting. It will start connecting through it. Any one of these I give high. If I give B high, VB high, then IB will be high. IB will be high. Then again IC will be high. IC will be high. Then ICRC will be high. Then again V output will become 0. Means any one of these input is high. Any one input is high, then output becomes low. And when that
NOR
happens,
gate.
then
NOR
which kind
gate.
of gate it is?
Not.
NOR gate.
NOR gate, in that it happens. Wait, let me check once. In NOR gate, what happens? In NOR gate, any one of the input is high, then output is low, I think. Right only, I think, sir. Right only, I think. If any one of the input is high, then the output becomes low. That happens only in NOR gate. Yes, correct. It is behaving like a NOR gate. So we are able to let me this NOT gate. It was NOT gate, but now it is not NOT gate. Now it is becoming NOR gate. When we are just making this minor change, then it is becoming NOT gate. Okay. So the transistor with the diodes together added can act like other gates also, like NOR gate, NAND gate also we can form. One more thing I would like to add here. NOR gate is called as universal gate. What is NOR gate? And NAND gate also. NAND gate and NOR gate are universal gates. Means all other gates are obtainable using these gates, which not these two. Again, that is also not, if you are thinking these two. Any one of these two also, if I use continuously NAND gate only, using NAND gate, I can form any other gate. What gate you want me to form using NAND gate? Tell me. Any gate which you think cannot be formed. I will be forming right now only. Any gate can be formed using NAND gate. Any gate. Think of something which you think cannot be formed. We can form from this OR gate. We can form from this NOT gate. We can form from this XOR gate. We can form from this AND gate. Any gate we can form using NAND gate. Similarly, any gate we can form using
NOR gate.
NOR gate also. Therefore, these two are called as universal gates. Now, NAND, somebody said NOT gate. NOT gate is easiest to find using the NAND gate. This is NAND gate. Just do one thing. NOT gate has not multiple inputs. It has just one input. Join these two together and give a single input here. Then what it becomes? Then it becomes a NOT gate. It is NOT gate made using NAND gate. It is a single input now. Here A is equal to B. If A is equal to B, what is output? Normally output I write as A into B bar. But now it will become A into A bar. What is A into A bar? That is not A square, it is A bar only. Why? This we can remember this thing. I think I wanted to add some how these operations work. Let me tell. A plus A is not equal to 2A. A plus A is equal to A. Similarly, A into A is not equal to A square. It is equal to A. Why that? Because we can check 0 plus 0, 0. 1 plus 1, 1. It means A plus A. If it is valid for 0 and 1, then other thing is already not there in this mathematics. In this mathematics, only these two things are there. And if it is valid for 0 as well as 1, then it's valid for, you can say in general. 0 into 0, 0. 1 into 1, 1. Therefore, A into A, not A square. A into A will be A, and A plus A will be A. Similarly, A raised to power n, whatever raised to power also we don't call it actually. We call it like this only. A dot A dot A dot A we will call. That will be also again A. Similarly, A plus A plus A plus A indefinitely, that will be A. 1 plus A, 1. 0 into A, 0. These things we should be knowing, these equations. What other things we have? We have some few other things. Let me recall.
De Morgan's theorem.
De Morgan's theorem is very important. That also I should say. That is very important. That is this theorem. A plus B bar will become equal to A bar dot B bar, and A into B bar will become equal to A plus B bar bar. This thing, there's a simple way to tell that. We De Morgan's.
Can I this one?
Papa,
Mama is in the gym and exercising.
De Morgan's theorem. Let me give one more example for this. A plus AB will be equal to bar will be equal to A bar dot
AB whole bar.
A B bar, which will again become equal to A bar dot A bar plus B bar, which will again become equal to A bar dot A bar is A bar square, which is A bar, plus A bar dot B bar. Okay, you can write it in this way also, which will again become equal to, it will give you surprising result in fact, which will become equal to A bar into 1 plus B bar, which will become equal to A bar. Right or not? What is,
Sir,
no, I
it is
don't,
not A plus B whole bar, no, sir. It is A bar plus B bar, no, sir.
which one?
From the second step to third step.
That I have done wrong. Let me check once. A bar dot A
Whole
bar
bar.
plus B bar.
Whole bar, sir. A plus B whole bar equal to A bar dot B bar.
No, 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 no.
Correct only, sir.
It is right. You don't know the rule. I think I will explain the rule. Don't worry. Let me explain the rule. Change the sign, break the line. That is the rule. Break the line, change the sign. How to remember it?
Break the line, change the sign.
Break the line and change the sign.
Understood, sir.
Okay. Always we will do like that only. Sign change means there are two signs only. One is dot and one is plus. So dot will change into plus and plus will change into dot whenever we break the line. So this is a single line here. When this single line is broken into two parts, here, here, then this sign in between will get changed. It will become plus. Where this rule comes from? It comes from the truth table again. We have already proved it for simple cases. For example, for A plus B, somebody proved it that it comes out to be this. For A dot B, somebody proved it comes out to be this. How we proved it? We proved it by putting the values of A, B in our truth table, and we see that it comes out to be same. See, you can do it yourself. I'm giving, okay, do this way. A, B, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And here it is A plus B bar. Just write it down and also write A dot B bar. Form the truth table of these two, and I guarantee that this will come out to be this output and this output. Let us call it y1, y2. If the values of y1 and y2 are all coming out to be same, then y1 and y2 will be same only. Then we can say these are same. By that we can say that A plus B bar is equal to A bar dot B bar. Similarly, we can verify and we can prove. This verification is not just verification, it is proof also. Reason? If we are able to prove something true for 0 and 1, all the possible values of 0 that A and B can take. If we are able to prove something for all the possible values that A and B can take, then it is in general true. Then that will be a general truth. Similarly, I can prove this thing also, that A dot B bar will also be in general true. It will always be equal to A bar plus B bar. And once that is proved, let us do it at least for one case. 0 plus 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. Now here 0, 0, 0, and here it is 1. See, check it. You can verify it. Is it coming out to be that or not? Therefore, we can say A plus B bar is equal to A bar into B bar. And similarly, we can prove the other one also, that A dot B bar is equal to A bar plus B bar. And once we are able to do that, how to write in terms of gate? In terms of gate, it will become like this. These operations are representing gates. This is which gate? Which gate it is? Multiply means and when bar is kept on the multiplication, and becomes NAND. It is A, it is B, and it is A into B. This gate is equivalent to, this NAND gate is equivalent to sum of 2 with OR. Which two we are summing up? A bar and B bar. But I have no inputs A bar and B bar. I have inputs always A and B. Let us start with A and B then. I can make A as A bar. How to make A as A bar? I can make A as A bar by connecting a NOT gate. How to make a NOT gate? That is also my choice. I can make a NOT gate in my own ways also. For example, okay, first of all, I'm making a normal NOT gate. Finally, I will make it using the gates I want. This is how it is. So this gate is equivalent to this gate because both are giving us same inputs, same outputs. Okay. One more thing I can do now. I can change it further. Yes. Yes. Ask. Have I lost you? Time is up. Okay. Then okay, no problem. I will end it. A, B. What is it here? A bar, B bar. What is it here? I wanted to obtain a OR gate after this, but a OR gate, a NOR gate in series with again one more. This is like a NOT gate only. This is like a NOT gate. NOT gate in series with NOT gate in series with the NOR gate will again become OR gate only. So these two together are becoming like a OR gate. And these two, this is also like a NOT gate. This is also like a NOT gate. So this whole structure is also same as this. This whole thing is equal to this, and this is equivalent to NAND. So I am able to form NAND gate using NOR gates. So NAND gate I am able to form using NOR gates. So all the gates can be obtained using just which gates?
NAND and NOR.
And a no.
Yes, exactly right. NAND and NOR. All the gates obtained using just NAND and NOR. I think I have understood enough about the gate. Few things will be there, and this also is there or not in syllabus. This binary conversion, for example, converting.
For advanced, they gave complete modern physics syllabus.
No, that they gave, but I'm suspicious in real IIT it is syllabus or not. I did not see any questions so far in IIT in which they ask conversion of decimal to binary. But I think in some other local exam it may be there, so it is better. I think if you finish it, I will teach you that also, whether it is for IIT or not. But in general, it will be helpful for in other exams.
Once wait, sir. Writing.
Okay, you can write it down. So you can remind me tomorrow. I can finish that part also. Two things are remaining. One is oscillator circuit. Remaining few questions I can take extra myself on transistors. These two things I will do. And other than that, in logic gates, I would like to take some extra questions in logic gates also. And especially I would like to take some binary conversion also. Binary like hexadecimal to binary, binary to decimal. These conversions. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, still access.
If you're asking me to score all, okay, one thing I should add here that you also had, I told you also, but that I told just in a passing reference, and it should be done properly. This De Morgan theorem is important, and above two things, these are simple, and these are also good, nice, important only. Other than this, one thing is still pending that I could have taken, that is this, sorry. This one is there, and this one is there, and one more other thing is there, which is A plus AB is equal to B. Is equal to A or B? A into 1 plus B. A. It is equal to A. There can be several such statements made actually. It is not like this will be now, I have made these three statements, so these are enough. I can make such thousands of such statements. I can give several expressions, and I can say this expression is equal to that expression. That thing we keep on doing in engineering colleges, that there will be some big expression. Finally, we have to convert it into a very simplified expression. Why we want to convert the big expression into a simplified expression? The purpose is
Input only one.
The purpose is economics. Economics. What is economics meaning? Economics meaning every gate is costly. We want to make a circuit in which less number of gates will be used. So as far as we can minimize the gates, that will be better. Not only it will make, if I am able to do the same task by using less number of gates, then my circuit will be more efficient also. It will be more quicker. Response time will become better. It will be fast. Okay. Signal will take time to reach from one place to the other place. That time will be reduced. Moreover, I will have to use less number of transistors or diodes in that. Then the circuit will be cheaper. So cheaper and faster, more efficient. Therefore, we try to minimize the expression. We don't want a big expression. Okay. Smaller expression means smaller number of gates used. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay then.